Hey folks, Tim here, FT Lot for the love of trains. Thanks to everybody who's been subscribing to my site. I'm up to, I think, 75 subscribers now, building up a pretty good following. So because that's happened, I've decided to do something a little bit different, and that's what I'm going to tell you about here on this project update. What I have been thinking of doing for the longest amount of time here is changing my layout. I started this back in 2000 and been working on it for quite a few years. Got most of it done, but one of the mistakes I made was I didn't leave enough room for staging and storage for trains and cars and that. So, and I don't really like to have to take them all off the train or all off the table and box them back up and pull out the other stuff. I just want to have a nice area where I can keep everything up and going all the time. So that being said, I am thinking of venturing onto a new project here, which is going to be making my layout a two-level layout. It'll stay on the same footprint. It'll just, the lower level will drop to about 36 inches, and then the upper level will be at about 60 inches, and I'll be putting a helix in on the far side of my layout. I've got the paperwork drawn up for preliminary drawings of what the bottom level is going to look like, and we'll go look at that right now. So come on, let's check it out. Okay, there's what I've drawn out so far. Like I said, pretty much the same thing. The layout is exactly the same footprint, other than the area for the helix over here is just a little bit, comes out a little bit further, but that's okay. And like I said, what I'm going to do is this bottom level is going to be at around 36 inches tall, and I want about a 20-inch separation between this level and my upper level so that I can get in there and do a lot of work with my staging tracks here and some storage tracks in the back for just cars that I don't normally use or want to have out at that time. As this comes around, it will split off, and I will have one loop track that goes around so that I can run train just on the bottom, as well as going up the helix. So I will start the helix up on the outside here on a 34-inch radius, and I think it equated out to be about a 1.17, about 1.2% grade. Be 4.5 turns or so with a 5-inch separation between the levels. So 4.5 turns, and have it come out back here and then go around the top section and do its thing. I do have a duck under here on the top level, which I probably will still keep. It just makes for easier transition around that corner, so I don't have the same curved lower end above. I'm attempting to put in 8 to 9 tracks here. It's only going to be 2 foot wide, and then it's going to neck down to 18 inches wide. This is about 28, almost 29 feet by 10 feet, and then this side is 13 feet, and this is 7 feet wide here. So it'll definitely give me more options for running trains in both directions with long sidings that I can do passes on that, and then it'll give me more room on the top level to do more switching and more operational type stuff that I wasn't able to incorporate both in the one I had currently. I just had too many areas that were too hard to get at and clean the tracks, or if there was a derailment, it was just a pain to get at. So this way is going to make my layout a lot easier to work with and a lot more fun to play with. So let's take a look at where I'm going to be putting some of these things and go from there. Okay, I ended up lashing up that ES44 to SD70 BNSF there, SD70 Mac, and that's the Athearn there. and it runs real good with that Intermountain. So I've had a lot of fun running that around the layout, pulling the auto rack here. So okay, so folks, this is going to be a big thing for me here to redo this. I'll have to tear out a lot of the old stuff that I've been working on for years, but a lot of my rock structures and things like that I know I can save, and of course all my trees and vegetation I can reuse somewhere else. And the track, once you just wet down the ballast, it comes up pretty easily. So yeah, it should be a good time. I still have not purchased a single piece for the new edition here, or the change. So I'm still in that stage where I'm thinking it'd be a good idea, but then it's going to cost a lot of money to do. But then what the hell, you can't take it with you. Might as well have fun playing with trains. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'll give it a couple more weeks. I'll try to draw up something for the top level as well. That way I have a better idea of what I'm going to need. But the nice thing is I can use a lot of my existing stuff. Everything on the top is going to be code 83, and then the bottom and the helix I'll make code 100. It just makes more sense that way. Other than that, we'll see what happens. Maybe my next video will be me with a sledgehammer busting things up, or it could just be me saying, oops, it's not going to happen. We'll see what happens. So until the next time, as always, I'm out!